architected comprehensive pest control script with 9 budget-friendly solutions. Did you know the average American homeowner spends anywhere from $100 to over $1,500 every year on pest control? And a single exterminator visit can run between $150 and $500 before they even open a can of spray? Now here is the kicker. Most of the bugs crawling around your kitchen, the mice scurrying behind your walls, and the moths chewing up your pantry can be knocked out with stuff already sitting in your cabinets or items that cost less than a fast food meal. The pest control industry rakes in over $20 billion a year in the United States alone. There is a reason for that. Most folks have no idea how easy and cheap it actually is to handle pests on their own. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on 9 dirt-cheap pest tricks that work shockingly well, the kind of tips most professionals would rather you never figure out. So grab a pen, get comfortable, and let us dive in. Number 1. Diatomaceous earth, the bug-killing powder that costs pennies. If you've never heard of diatomaceous earth, get ready, because this stuff is about to become your new best friend. Diatomaceous earth, or DE for short, is a fine, off-white powder made from the fossilized remains of tiny aquatic organisms called diatoms. It looks completely harmless, almost like flour, but to insects, it might as well be a minefield. Here's how it works. Under a microscope, DE is razor sharp. When bugs like roaches, ants, fleas, bedbugs, silverfish, or earwigs crawl through it, the powder clings to their exoskeletons, scratches the protective waxy coating, and absorbs the oils and moisture from their bodies. The result is they dry out and die within a day or two. No chemicals, no fumes, no traps. What makes it such a steal is the price. A standard bag of food-grade diatomaceous earth runs around $10 to $15 and lasts pretty much forever. We are talking years of pest control from a single container. Compare that to a one-time exterminator visit for roaches or bedbugs, which can easily set you back $300 to $1,000, and the math practically does itself. To use it, just sprinkle a thin layer along baseboards, under appliances, around door frames, behind your toilet, inside cabinets, anywhere bugs like to travel. The trick is keeping it dry, because wet diatomaceous earth loses its bite. And make sure you are buying food grade, not pool grade, because pool grade is heat treated and is not safe for use around your home or pets. This is one of those tricks exterminators wish you did not know, because frankly, it works almost too well. Number 2. Boric acid and sugar. Cockroaches are the kind of pest that can make a grown adult scream and run out of the kitchen at midnight. They are tough, they multiply fast, and they carry bacteria everywhere they crawl. Calling an exterminator for a roach problem is one of the priciest pest visits you can book, often $200 to $600 or more. But there is a 100-year-old trick that works just as well, and it costs about $3. Boric acid mixed with sugar. Here is the science. Boric acid is a naturally occurring compound that is lethal to roaches when ingested. It damages their stomach lining and disrupts their nervous system. The sugar acts as the bait. Roaches are drawn to sweet stuff, like moths to a porch light. They eat the mixture, carry traces of it back to the nest, and slowly take out the whole colony from the inside. To make your own bait, mix equal parts boric acid powder and plain white sugar in a small bowl. Then sprinkle tiny amounts in roach hotspots, under the fridge, behind the stove, beneath the sink, along baseboards, and in dark corners of cabinets. You can also stir it into a little peanut butter to make pellets the roaches can grab and carry off. A small box of boric acid at the hardware store costs around $5, and you will have enough to treat your entire house several times over. One thing to remember: boric acid should be kept well away from pets and small children, since it is toxic if swallowed in larger amounts. But used carefully, in spots only roaches can reach, It is one of the most effective and affordable pest treatments ever discovered. Number 3. Peppermint oil. If you've got mice tiptoeing through your attic or spiders setting up shop in every corner of your basement, you don't need to drop hundreds on an exterminator. You just need a small bottle of peppermint essential oil and a handful of cotton balls. Mice and many insects, including spiders and ants, have an incredibly sensitive sense of smell. To them, the strong menthol scent of peppermint is overwhelming and unpleasant, sort of like how a heavy perfume can make you feel sick to your stomach. Research on rodent behavior has shown that mice will actively avoid areas treated with peppermint oil, especially when the scent is fresh and concentrated. To use it, put a few drops of peppermint oil onto cotton balls and place them where you've spotted pest activity: under the sink, behind the fridge, in pantry corners, around basement windows, in the garage, near vents, and at any entry points around your foundation. Refresh the cotton balls every 2 to 3 weeks as the scent fades. A small bottle of peppermint oil runs about $7 to $10 and lasts months. Compare that to a rodent extermination service, which typically costs $200 to $600, and once again the difference is staggering. Bonus: your home ends up smelling like a candy cane factory. Keep in mind, peppermint oil is a deterrent, not a killer. So if you already have a serious infestation, you'll want to combine this with traps or by sealing entry points. More on that in a second. But for prevention and minor problems, it's incredibly effective and easy on the wallet. Number 4. Cinnamon. Ants are one of the most common household pests in the country. They march in single-file lines, follow invisible scent trails, and can take over a kitchen counter in a matter of hours. Calling out a pro to deal with ants is overkill, and yet plenty of homeowners do it, paying $150 or more for what is essentially a few minutes of spraying. There is a much cheaper fix, and it is probably sitting in your spice rack right now. Ground cinnamon. Ants navigate using pheromone trails, chemical scent paths they leave behind for other ants to follow. When you sprinkle cinnamon in their path, it does 2 things. First, the strong scent overwhelms their tiny olfactory receptors, throwing them off course. Second, the powder physically disrupts and masks the pheromone trail, breaking their highway and sending the colony into total confusion. To use it, just sprinkle a thin line of cinnamon across windowsills, doorways, baseboards, and anywhere you see ants coming and going. You can also mix cinnamon with a little water to make a paste, then apply it to cracks or entry points where ants are sneaking in. A bottle of cinnamon costs about $2 to $4. And even the cheap stuff from the dollar store does the job. As a bonus, it smells fantastic, especially in the fall. Unlike commercial ant sprays, it is completely safe around kids and pets. No warning labels, no fumes, no chemicals you cannot pronounce. Number 5. Bay leaves. The pantry pest repellent hiding in your spice cabinet. If you've ever opened a bag of flour or a box of rice and found tiny moths fluttering out, or worse, little weevils crawling in your grains, you know how unsettling pantry pests can be. They contaminate food, multiply quickly, and can spread from one container to another almost overnight. Most folks respond by tossing out half the pantry, deep cleaning every shelf, and reaching for chemical treatments. But generations of grandmothers have been quietly using a simple trick for decades: bay leaves. Bay leaves contain natural compounds, including eucalyptol and various aromatic oils, that pantry moths, weevils, and other grain bugs find downright offensive. The strong herbal scent deters them from settling in to lay eggs in your food. The fix is straightforward. Drop 1 or 2 whole bay leaves directly into your containers of flour, rice, oats, pasta, cornmeal, sugar, and dry beans. You can also tape a bay leaf to the inside of your pantry door or tuck them into the corners of your shelves. They do not affect the flavor of your food, but pests want nothing to do with them. A jar of bay leaves at the grocery store costs $3 to $5 and contains enough to protect your entire pantry for months. Just replace them every couple of months as the scent fades. It's a tiny investment for big peace of mind, and the kind of trick you'll wish you'd known about years ago. Number 6. Apple cider vinegar trap. There is almost nothing more annoying than a swarm of fruit flies buzzing around your kitchen. They appear out of nowhere, hover over your bananas, dive bomb your coffee, and seem impossible to swat. You do not need a fancy trap from the store, and you definitely do not need an exterminator. You just need apple cider vinegar and a drop of dish soap. Fruit flies are powerfully attracted to the smell of fermenting fruit. That is exactly why apple cider vinegar works so well, because it mimics the sweet, vinegary scent of overripe produce. The dish soap is the secret weapon. Vinegar alone will not trap them because they can land on the surface and fly off. But dish soap breaks the surface tension of the liquid, meaning the second a fruit fly touches down, it sinks and drowns. To make the trap, pour about half a cup of apple cider vinegar into a small bowl or glass jar. Add 2 or 3 drops of dish soap. Give it a gentle swirl. That's it. Place the bowl wherever the flies are gathering, usually the kitchen counter, near the trash can, or by a fruit bowl. Within a few hours, you will start seeing them drop in. By the next morning, the bowl will likely be packed. Empty it, refill, and repeat as needed. Total cost? Maybe 25 cents. And it works just as well as those $15 commercial fruit fly traps you will see at the hardware store. There is a reason this trick has been passed down for decades. It just works. Number 7. Steel wool, the mouse-proof barrier that costs less than lunch. Here is a hard truth. Every mousetrap, every poison bait, every peppermint cotton ball means nothing if mice can keep waltzing into your house through gaps in your foundation, walls, or pipes. The single most effective long-term solution to a mouse problem is not killing them. It is keeping them out in the first place. And there is a $5 fix that does the job better than most professional exclusion services. Steel wool. Mice can squeeze through holes as small as a 1/4 inch, and they are champion chewers. They will gnaw through wood, plastic, drywall, foam insulation, and even thin sheet metal. But steel wool? That stops them cold. The sharp, tightly woven metal fibers hurt their teeth and gums when they try to chew it, and they quickly give up and look for an easier path. To use it, walk around the outside and the inside of your home and look closely for entry points. Pay special attention to where pipes come into the house, around dryer vents, gaps under doors, holes in baseboards, openings around electrical lines, and corners of the basement or attic. Stuff steel wool firmly into any hole you find, and for extra security, seal it in place with caulk or expanding foam. A pack of steel wool costs around $3 to $5, and you will have enough to plug dozens of entry points. A professional exclusion service can charge anywhere from $300 to $1,000 for the same job. The difference goes straight back into your pocket. Pair this with a few snap traps or peppermint cotton balls, and you have built a complete mouse defense system for under $20. Number 8. Dish soap spray. The garden and indoor pest fix that works on contact. Aphids on your roses. A wasp scouting out a nesting spot by your porch light. Ants marching across the patio. Spider mites destroying your tomato plants. There is one spray that handles all of them, and it costs less than $1 to make. Dish soap and water. Here is how it works. Soft-bodied insects like aphids, mealybugs, whiteflies, spider mites, and even wasps and ants are coated in a thin, waxy layer that protects them from drying out. When you spray them with diluted dish soap, the soap dissolves that waxy coating, suffocates them, and disrupts their cell membranes. They die within minutes of being hit. To make the spray, mix 1 to 2 teaspoons of regular liquid dish soap. The cheap stuff is fine. Dawn is a classic favorite, with about a quart of water in a spray bottle. Give it a gentle shake. Spray directly onto pests wherever you see them, making sure to coat their bodies. For garden use, this works wonders on aphid infestations, especially on roses, tomatoes, and pepper plants. Spray in the early morning or evening to avoid leaf burn from the sun. For indoor use, you can spray it on ant trails, around windowsills, or even directly at a flying wasp. A bottle of dish soap costs a few bucks and can make hundreds of batches. Compare that to commercial insecticides that run $10 to $25 a bottle, and the savings add up fast. As long as you do not drench plants in straight soap, this is a safe, effective, eco-friendly fix. Number 9. Cedar, the centuries-old moth and insect repellent. Closets full of holes in sweaters. Moths fluttering out of stored blankets. Carpet beetles silently chewing through wool rugs. These are some of the most heartbreaking pest problems out there because by the time you spot them, the damage is already done. The answer isn't those toxic mothballs that smell like a forgotten gym locker. It's cedar. Cedar wood, especially eastern red cedar and Spanish cedar, naturally contains essential oils, most notably a compound called cedral that repel clothing moths, carpet beetles, silverfish, and even fleas. The scent is pleasant to humans but repulsive to these pests, and it interferes with the moth's ability to lay eggs in fabric. To use cedar, place cedar blocks, chips, or shavings in your closets, dresser drawers, linen cabinets, and storage bins. Cedar hangers are a great option for hanging clothes. For long-term storage, cedar chests are practically unbeatable. You can even sprinkle cedar chips into pet beds to help repel fleas. A pack of cedar blocks runs about $8 to $15 at most home stores, and they last for years. When the scent starts to fade, usually after 6 months to a year, just lightly sand the surface or add a few drops of cedar oil, and they're good as new. Mothballs, by comparison, are not only toxic, but also leave a smell that can cling to fabric forever. Cedar smells like a fresh forest, harms nothing in your home, and keeps a whole list of pests far, far away. It's been used for centuries, and there is a reason it's still the gold standard.